my stars.
Hello and welcome to Sidewalks. I'm Micah Weston and I'm here with Hugh Dancy. He's the star of the movie Adam, also Confessions of a Shopaholic and James Austen Book Club. Thank you so much for being here today.
Nice to be here.
No. Thank you for being yourself today.
I try every day.
So tell me, you've been acting professionally for about 10 years. When did you know you wanted to be an actor? At what age?
I guess when I was around 17, I was acting at school and taking it fairly seriously, but I hadn't really formulated that thought until by the time I started thinking about it, I realized that my mind had already been made up, if you know what I mean, somewhere along the line. And I went to college to study literature after that, because that was just another ambition. But at that point, I knew pretty much what I wanted to do.
Your family is very well educated. You yourself went to Oxford.
Yeah.
How does your family feel about you going into the acting profession?
No, they're fine with it. I mean, now they're I think they're very happy with what I've been doing. They were, even at the beginning, when it was not so obvious that it would work out, they were surprisingly supportive.
You've been described by the UK media as one of the most up-and-coming talent out there. How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, I think the way that you're described, or that I'm described in the media, is something that I always take with a pinch of salt, because it doesn't necessarily, for me, reflect certainly the way that I think about myself. I mean, who would sit there and think, oh, I think I'm one of the up-and-coming, nor does it reflect the way that the average person perceives you. The other thing that the media likes to do, because they need to label people and box people, is, oh, he's the next this or the next that. And again, it's not a conversation that I've ever had with a normal person or a friend, So it's very nice, it's very flattering. You're always happy to be on those lists. Or there are some other descriptions of myself that are not so flattering, but they're not something that I take very seriously. So
in this movie, Adam, you play Adam, hence the title of the movie. And your character, he has Asperger's syndrome, and it's a love story, though. He falls in love. What kind of research did you have to do for the film?
Plenty, because I knew nothing. As I think many people still out there, I knew nothing about Asperger's at all. I didn't know what I now know, which is that it's on the autistic spectrum, and that it's a condition that makes it very hard for an individual to read other people, essentially to read the signals that you and I rely on. I can read your facial expression, and I can hear,
I'm just kidding.
for example. I think almost anybody could read that one, but little nuance in the voice and nuance in the words that we use as well, in fact, can be very confusing. Yeah. So they take things things are taken very literally. And there's a kind of sweetness to that, in a sense, a kind of honesty to it.
Definitely.
There's also, there's a lot of humor that arises out of it that we have gently woven through the movie. And it can also lead to a lot of difficult situations. But as you say, it's not for me, it's not the primary point of the film. The real point is the story between, the two of us, Beth, who's played by Rose Byrne there, and myself, and just that struggle that they face, that we all face, or most of us have faced at one time or another, which is to make a connection with another human being and to kind of get outside